You're tuned into the stellar award-winning internet radio station.
You're at the right place at the right time.
Yes, Lord Radio.
Hold up. Wait just a minute. It's Roz on your radio. Yo.
Keep it locked right here.
Showcase, fellowship, inspire. Showcase.
Hey, it's Roz on the radio.
Showcase, fellowship, inspire.
Yes, Lord Radio. Now it's time for another Yes, Lord Radio exclusive.
Hey, everybody, it's Roz on the radio, and you're listening to another YLR exclusive. Today, we get the behind-the-scenes look into the industry from marketing and PR executive Benita Bellamy. Benita, thanks so much for joining us today.
Well, hello there, and thank you, Roz. It's just a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you. Now, I have to ask you, growing up, is this what you saw yourself doing?
Well, not really. I originally did want to go into music, art, entertainment, but more on the performing side. I never thought I would be working as a marketing or PR executive behind the artist or behind the personalities. But I did dance and piano growing up as a kid and always knew I was going to perform on stage.
Wow. So tell us about what changed for you.
Well, I think a lot of things change. One, your perspectives, and one, just life changes. As you grow up and as you grow older, life takes you through different journeys.
Yes.
And my life has been an incredible, crazy, wonderful, amazing, sometimes awful journey, but it has led me to this wonderful life that I have. And, you know, through college and just through growing up and through marriage and divorce and having, you know, a daughter and just so many different things led to the change and honestly a necessity to find a full-time, consistent job. You know, sometimes being a performer is not consistent.
Absolutely.
And, you know, as a pianist, I studied classical piano in school and dance. I actually taught dance and owned a dance school for a while. It caused me to get back into a corporate situation. And that's kind of what led me into doing this, marketing and PR.
Okay, great. Now, you've worked with an amazing lineup of artists and with a number of notable companies before branching out into your own company. Tell us how some of those experiences have shaped the company that you have built today.
Well, you know, working with various labels, EMI, Gospel, Light Records, Sanctuary Records, really has it's been able to help me develop these skills. Working with a record label, a lot of times, you have to wear multiple hats.
Yes.
So I've learned everything from, you know, I really never even imagined myself working at a record label, and I started out as an administrative assistant secretary.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just kind of took that position as the opportunity to learn it all. So I tried to be as hands-on as I could, and through that, I kind of learned what my knack would be and what area I really wanted to go in. I kind of got tossed into radio promotions, which I, you know, really didn't have any clue about. Didn't want to do that, but it was one of those, okay, this is the only move up the corporate ladder to do this. I'm like, okay, well, if that's going to help me get to where I'm going to go, I'm going to do it. So really doing radio promotions for several years taught me a lot about the industry because I had to travel a lot with the artists. Had to, you know, be on the road and meeting different radio announcers, meeting different media people, and just learning how to start a record from scratch and to see it to its completion, to street and beyond. That whole experience working at a label really taught me how to do what I'm doing now. And that, like I said, is getting an artist, starting from nothing or from scratch, and doing that record to its completion, getting it out there in the marketplace, and watching it grow.
That's wonderful. So what's one of the first things that you think about before you take on a new client?
First thing to consider, well, you know, there's, I guess, a couple of things we like to consider. One is, what is the artist doing now? Is it, you know, an artist that has an ability, has a talent, or has an anointing? Are they active in their church? Are they active in their hometown? Are they out there singing and doing and trying to promote themselves? Because I tell people this all the time, you are your own you are your best marketing piece. If you're not marketing yourself, it's going to make my job harder. You know?
Wow, right.
So if there's an artist that's just, you know, hustling and doing stuff for themselves, that shows us, one, that they're serious.
Yes.
And then 2 is just be honest talent. Ability. Gotta be good.
That's right. I'm so glad you mentioned that.
Because there's only so much marketing I can do if you can't sing. I'm so sorry. I can't.
I love it. You guys, we speak the honest truth here. I'm sorry.
That's what I tell everybody. And I have to be honest, because you're going to be wasting your time.
Mm-hmm.
You're wasting your money. I'm not one to just take a check and say, "Oh, you're great, let's do this." No, because that's going to make my job harder. So
exactly.
A skill set, and you have to be rehearsing and practicing and get better. Because let's face it, this business of gospel music, it's ministry. It's about healing people and leading souls to Christ. But it's a business, and it's competitive.
Yeah.
So you have to be talented, and you have to be a hard worker, period.
Yes, absolutely. That's great. So now, going back to the talent thing and people being able to market themselves, so many artists, Benita, they're trying to do their own marketing and PR these days, but sometimes, sad to say, it's to their own demise. So share with us something that someone should consider important before they're stepping out promoting themselves.
And that's good, Roz. And I see that a lot, that, everyone has their calling or their gifts or their talents or their own specific abilities. I actually can play piano, I can read music, I can play by ear, but that's not what I'm doing.
Right.
So I have to focus on what I'm called to do, and that's marketing PR. Artists should be focusing on their own gift and their talent. You are called to sing, write, play an instrument, whatever. That's what you need to concentrate on. Yes, there's a certain amount of marketing you have to do for yourself in networking and getting out there on your social networks, going to conferences and meeting people, getting your music out to the hands of people, doing shows and doing dates. All that's marketing. But there's only a certain amount that you can do, and that's when you really need to hire people like myself or anybody that does what I do to help you to get, 1, to the next level, and 2, market yourself effectively, because there's a lot of things that we know to do that you don't necessarily know how to do.
That's right.
Or that I can do in step 1, and it would take you 12 steps to do, because it's my skill. That's what I do. So, there are things you can do by yourself, but there's going to come a point where you need to turn it over to people who are skilled to do the marketing and PR.
That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Now, you were also recently featured among a list of awards and honors, but you were recently featured in the Girl Talk magazine. And I like the magazine because it partly focuses on people's struggles with everyday issues of money, our health, careers, and faith. Tell us about that experience.
I'm still so excited about that. I never thought, I would ever be on the cover of a magazine. I was like, oh my God. So I'm really just me? Are they serious? Come on now. I'm just me. But it's just so incredible. I think really the story. I'm glad that, it really started out as an interview. And I just started, I love to talk. And once I get, I start talking, I don't mind being transparent as long as it helps somebody. Cause,
yes.
And still going through some stuff. And I think that's what people need to hear and know, just that you don't see me on Facebook or me out traveling with these artists and that that's just one side of my life. And I didn't always just pop up, on the front row at the church with the artist, or that's not how I got there. It was a journey, and it was sometimes a struggle. And it was a lot of hard work and a lot of, laughter and fun, but a lot of tears.
Yeah.
And it was just really, I wanted to just encourage people that it doesn't matter what you're doing, whether you're a school teacher or a police officer, or if you're trying to run for a city office, just don't give up on what you're doing, even when people are against you, or even when you're being attacked by the enemy and, you don't feel like you have skill, that people are telling you no all the time. Don't give up, because if God's planted it in you, it is so, and it will be. And it's up to you to hang in there and keep fighting the good fight, because that's what we're all doing. We're fighting the good fight, and we're here. Each of us are here for a purpose, and my purpose is to do what I'm doing now. And there were times, Roz, when I did want to quit, and I did. I stepped out of gospel music. I was mad and frustrated and tired of being told no, and tired of backstabbers and people just acting crazy.
Yeah.
So I stepped out, but that calling will never let you leave if it's a true calling.
That's
so
right.
It kept at me, and it failed me even while I was trying to hide. So, I got back into it, and I said, you know what, God, I won't leave again. If this is what you need me to do, I'm going to, just tough it out and do everything you need me to do. And you just tell me what to do. And every day I get up and I will do it to the best of my ability. And so that's the story, is basically how I got to this point and still going. I don't even consider myself an expert. I'm doing something that I love to do, and that I get up every day and try to figure out a better way to do it. And so, people label you as a guru or an expert, please. None of us specialists. We're just here to do what we're supposed to do. And every day I'm trying to learn. I'm fighting it just like everybody else. I have to get up and be competitive and know what the newest website is and all this social media stuff that's popping up. You got to get up and learn it and, and be competitive with it. And so it's all for me, a daily, I'm learning still. I have reached a certain level in my career, but I'm still learning and I'm still growing. Yeah.
Wonderful. Now, and then you also touched on having to step out of the gospel world. And I just want to point this out to people, because I've talked to a couple of artists about this. And just because we're Christian, you know where I'm going with this. Just because we're in gospel, it does not mean that we will not face any backstabbing.
Come on.
Oh my goodness. I know you touched on it, but this is a business, like you said earlier.
Right. And there are going to be times, and there are going to be people that you're going to encounter that do not have your best interest at heart, period.
Yeah.
Flat out. There are people that work in gospel that aren't saved. Let's just say it as it is. They're aren't. So it is a business for them. It's about making money. It's about them getting ahead a lot of times for personal gain. And it's not about your ministry and your craft and and I just bless God to have, God in my heart to be able to be concerned about people, even in business, so that I don't have to run you over, stab you, or take from you in order to gain something for myself personally. Because I'm gaining personally when I see your project come to life and your music, touching people. And God will take care of me. I'm not worried about nothing. And I talk about this in the magazine article. There was a time, Rosalind, I didn't have any money. I couldn't pay my car note. They came to get my car. I got served foreclosure papers.
Wow.
So you got to hang in there, and you got to do business right and well, and how God wants you to do it. He will take care of you. And he took care of it. He fixed it. I don't know how I got out of foreclosure. God fixed it because I stayed consistent with what he wanted me to do and how he wanted me to do business. I could have taken some checks for some crazy people. I could have done some undermining things to get my bills paid, but I did not. I stayed true to how God wanted me to do business, and now I'm fine. So that's what I say about, the industry. Don't fall to the temptations of doing, the incorrect way of doing business in music, because it's easy. It's all around us.
Yes.
And surround yourself with people of integrity, because people the enemy is everywhere. The enemy is everywhere, and it's not exclusive or it doesn't leave out, church and gospel music industry. He's in there too. Yeah. So you need to guard yourself. Guard your ministry, guard your heart, and surround yourself with people of integrity, especially when you're doing business in this entertainment business.
Absolutely. I love it. And I also love the cover title, Benita Bellamy's Prayer is Her Business. Ooh, I want to read it. Tell us about that.
Yeah, honestly, like I said, the article is just me trying to be transparent. And one thing I got through, even just my journey of now up to, now, is that just pray through it all. When you don't have an answer, when you can't find an answer, when, you don't know what to do, just pray about it. Just pray. And that's your, communicate with God on all things, and he will direct you in which way you need to go. Just keep praying through it, and in the article I talk about, there were times when I sat in my kitchen just in tears, turning my computer like, God, what am I going to do? Just talking to God like, what do you want me to do? The answers will come. Just continue to talk to God, and, and it's not always about, petitioning him for something. Bless him. Bless him every day. Even when you ain't got a nickel. Bless him.
Exactly.
Just bless him. And he will continue to bless you. And that sums up the article, through it all. It's just pray about it. Pray through it all.
Wonderful. Now, what's been most satisfying or even exciting to you about this journey?
There are so many great things. I try to sometimes write it down. I mean, I've had so many great experiences, and so many, I guess, like Oprah says, aha moments.
Yeah.
And just wow moments. You know, I sit and reflect back. I'm just a little country girl from East Tennessee, and I reflect and think, okay, I've been, you know, at the dinner table with Bishop T.D. Jakes, and I've been, you know, on tour with Norfolk, and I've sat and talked, you know, with C.C. Winans, and, you know, I can name drop like that.
Wonderful.
Reflect on those moments. Those are great, and I'm in awe of that. I'm like, I did nothing to deserve that. I'm in awe. But, you know, there are times when you really work hard, and we are not doing this to receive earthly rewards. We aren't. But let's be honest, Roz. It's nice to get a thank you, and it's not
absolutely
for your work. You know, and really, some of the great moments is when, like, an artist does win a Stellar Award or a Grammy Award. Yeah. Part on that project, and you think, and it's part of mine. That's part of my award because I worked so hard on that, and I love it when our artists win. You know, and it's just, you know, it's a thank you to them. It's not necessarily just a trophy. It's a thank you and a recognition that we see what you're doing and we see you working hard, and just a thank you. So those are some of the great moments that I've experienced over my career.
Awesome. Now, guys, we're going to get out of here. But Benita, again, I want to thank you so much for sharing with us today. And also, guys, I love being able to give you another perspective because everybody thinks immediately, Benita, music, I got to be performing, you know, not all of the things that go on behind that particular artist. So thank you so much again for sharing that with us. Guys, if you want to know more about this, obviously you guys can contact Benita. We're going to tell you how you can do that in just a moment. But leave your comments on our YLR shout box. Join us on Facebook.com and follow me. Meet me on Facebook and Twitter.com on both at Roz on the Radio. And Benita, tell everybody how they can stay connected to you.
Sure thing. First, thank you, Roz. This has been great. Thank you so much. And thank you, Yes Lord Radio. Shout out to Howard Young and everybody at Yes Lord. I really appreciate what you guys are doing. And you guys have grown. I say kudos to Yes Lord.
Thank you.
But yeah, everybody can reach out. Our website is thebellamygroup.com. That's www.thebellamygroup.com. All of our artists and information is on there, music, videos, everything. You can reach me on Twitter. Just tweet me. I'm at One Benita, and that's ONEBENITA. And then I'm also on Facebook, and both you can reach me under Benita Bellamy or the Bellamy Group, either way.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys, so much for joining us again. And that's the YLR exclusive with marketing and PR executive Benita Bellamy. Bye, guys.